you become an idol, you will automatically become prettier, because if it's not thanks to having beauty procedures done, it will also come down to the weight loss and better makeup look, or simply having a brighter, radiant beam glowing, thanks to the greater confidence in yourself. In today's video, I will cover some idols whose visual transformation is shocking. And while some of them used to be said to not look pretty enough, netizens are now continuously praising their visuals on all fronts. Number 1. Ives Gaul. Used to being called the most boring and least appealing person to look at in Ive, which was said to be the result of her drowsy eyes and her low-key aura, Gaul has recently taken over the internet by storm after changing her hair color to purple, and always appearing in public with a more lively, confident aura. When Gaul appeared at Youth Day Festival on September 17th, everyone was taken aback because her visual was so stunning. Some even said she could easily enter the top visual of Gen 4 idols with this face, as besides the perfect V-shaped jawline, she also had big, soulful eyes, a small straight nose, and perfectly heart-shaped lips. The cold purple short hair was said to especially suit Gaul, as it well complemented the visual as icy as a winter breeze, and gave her a mysterious, dreamlike glowing beam when standing under the stage lighting. As purple is a cold shade, yet still more colorful than the pure blonde hair, netizens believe the new hair of Gaul also rejuvenized her appearance, erasing the drowsy, sleepy image that used to be attached to her. On big forums, Gaul was also called the secret weapon of Ive. And while Jang Won-young as well as An Yu-chin could overshadow Gaul with their contemporary reputation, many believed Gaul would still be big because her visual was apparently top-notch. Others also expressed their confusion as to why she had just been noticed recently, though ever since day one, she had already had this icy goddess face. Of course, the answer is still a mystery, but as some noticed, probably since Gaul has regained her confidence and learned to enjoy herself more while performing, she has leveled up her energy, drawing more attention to her inherent visual. Actually, this can be a legit explanation, because with most recent stages, especially in the latest comeback where her part was most viral, though it only lasted for 7.5 seconds out of 15 seconds of her total line, seemingly, Gaul had decided to prove her value, after being called the most overshadowed member in Ive. Number 2. Huning Bahia. Even if you didn't watch Girls Planet 999, it's still very likely that you've already heard about the fierce criticism pointing at Huning Bahia regarding her visual. The situation was so severe that when she just appeared for 10 seconds in a 1-minute 50-long-second introduction video, she had already sparked a huge controversy among K-nets, as many believed she looked too ugly to be an idol. Some compared Bahia to a normal English teacher. Some compared her to ordinary people in Southeast Asian countries. And some even said they couldn't imagine how big a chaos she would create when managing to debut with such a face. However, everything gradually changed since Bahia debuted with Coupler. And on the very first appearance with the group, she was already praised for the impressive visual upgrade. In January, she made headlines for having the visual on the same par as Barbie dolls. And because her features have a strong Western vibe, the change of hair color from black to blonde was said to have significantly enhanced her visual, especially because her porcelain skin had a cool undertone, which went extremely well with the platinum blonde hair. Many said they thought Bahia was glowing glitter under the strong lighting of the stage. In the latest comeback, her visual caused an even bigger stir among K-nets, and many were taken aback as to how Bahia could have such a stunning transformation in such a short span of time. Until now, it's just 10 months since Coupler's debut, yet Bahia had already risen from the least appealing member to the one that led Coupler's popularity thanks to her charm and visual. Besides the platinum blonde hair, a change from matte, simple makeup to a more dewy, glowy style also made Bahia shine brighter. As most South Korean people prefer girly looks, and unfortunately, the strong and fairly masculine features of Bahia's face stood out even more with the matte basic makeup, the recent switch to a more bling-bling style has accentuated the lovey-dovey side of her visual, helping Bahia garner more positive reactions to her used-to-be controversial beauty. Among Coupler's members, her fan cam was also the second most viewed one, and ranked only after Hikaru, aka the person that had a solid fan base since the very first day of Girls Planet 999. Seemingly, not only netizens, but even the management of Coupler, Wake One Entertainment, has also implicitly recognized her glow-up. Because after she made headlines about her visual in the debut era, Bahia has been given more lines in the latest comeback. Compared to the debut album of Coupler, where she was literally invisible, now Bahia has had even more lines than Yeso, and way more time on screen. Number 3. Blackpink's Rosé. If you've been on my channel for some time, you will probably know Rosé used to be made fun of a lot for sticking to the same old image. Blonde waistline-long hair, simple black-on-black outfits, and neutral-colored makeup. While this is the signature image that helps Rosé bag home big commercial contracts, because brands like YSL and Tiffany Co. found a great match between their vision and her style, it's also the double-edged sword that makes netizens label her the most boring and repetitive persona in Blackpink. However, people's reaction has recently changed 180 degrees after Rosé's appearances at Saint Laurent's party and Tiffany & Co.'s events in Japan. Her visual on these occasions was compared to a new breeze refreshing the whole repetitive image she has been sticking with for the past few years. At the party of Saint Laurent, her opting for a spandex sleeveless design also helped level up her visual, as according to netizens, it complemented well her angular shoulders and waist that was as tiny as an ant's. And after Rosé's appearance at the event of Tiffany & Co. in Japan, she was showered in another rain of compliments, as Rosé was said to look like a stunning Cinderella of the modern days, about to enter the biggest ball dance of her life. With that dreamy princess dress, Rosé's visual became the highlight of the whole event. What excited people even more was how she could maintain the chic, modern, and powerful spirit of the two famous brands endorsed, yet also managed to add something new and compelling to her signature image. While the upgrade in her visual was noticeable, the twist Rosé incorporated into her style was extremely subtle and wise. By that, it meant instead of F5 her whole image and doing something totally different from her iconic style, Rosé carefully opted for small yet impactful details to elevate. By getting rid of the fairly brassy blonde hair, making it short to the length of her shoulders, and also dyeing it light orange, Rosé rejuvenized her appearance, yet also maintained the classy image of a pop star. Some also said Rosé no longer gave off a bony, malnutritious vibe thanks to this new hairstyle, because in the past, when her brassy, thin blonde hair went hand-in-hand with the extremely skinny figure of Rosé, many thought she was struggling with anorexia. Besides, Rosé's decision to stay away from black-on-black outfits for both events also received many compliments from netizens. Many said hopefully she could also see how her white porcelain skin didn't necessarily have to be paired with a full black outfit to shine. Number 4. G-Idol's Mion. Maybe you're wondering why a goddess visual like Mion could ever be here, but according to netizens, she totally deserved a spot on this list, as her impressive visual is now just ripening and about to reach its peak. Why say it's just ripening? Well, because when people knew that she used to be a piece of Blackpink, yet eventually left the debut lineup when the D-Day was determined, they said Mion's visual was good, but simply too vague and forgettable. She was also constantly compared to Jisoo. And for Jisoo's overwhelming reputation, Mion often came in the latter rank when people discussed who looked better between her and the visual of Blackpink. However, as Mion stayed longer in the industry and also figured out her style, her aura, and her charm, she gradually shone brighter and garnered tons of attention. Despite the naive and soft visual, Mion frequently opts for outfits with bold cutouts and tight fitting, wisely flaunting her fire figure that creates a harmonious contrast with her ethereal, naive visual. Not only that, perhaps because Mion has changed her hair color to cotton candy pink and shredded some weight, her features became way sharper. They were so prominent that in the latest concert in Japan, some even mistook her for a CGI character, or a robot stepping straight out of the laboratory of Cube Entertainment. So, which idol's glow-up do you find the most impressive? And are there any other names you think also have such a glow-up that no one saw coming? Comment down below to share your thoughts with us. Also, remember to like, share, and subscribe to BeBoss TV for more interesting K-pop content. Thank you for watching.